All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. We're going to look at exactly how to seamlessly brand your business in the Grand Canyon State. Whether you're an ambitious new entrepreneur looking to launch your first venture or an established business owner wanting to expand into new markets, understanding how to properly register your business name is absolutely vital for your success.
So, let me ask you something. Are you ready to brand your Arizona business, but you kind of want to avoid the massive hassle and expense of starting a brand new legal entity from scratch? If you need a business alias, a forward-facing identity that your customers will know and love, but you don't necessarily want to form a completely new corporation, you are absolutely in the right place.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover what a DBA actually is, how to prep your trade name, submitting the application, the costs and timeframes, maintenance, FAQs, and finally, a quick conclusion and disclaimer.
All right, Section 1. What exactly is a DBA?
You hear the term DBA tossed around constantly, right? It literally stands for doing business as. But, and this is a fun fact, while everyone says DBA, the Arizona Secretary of State officially calls this a trade name. It's basically a nickname for your business. It allows you to legally operate under an alternative alias instead of your strict legal name. For example, if your legal name is Jane Doe, but you want to run a bakery, a trade name lets you legally operate as Jane's Sweet Treats.
Now, this brings us to a massive misconception that I hear all the time. A DBA or trade name is just a business alias. That's it. It doesn't create a new legal entity, and honestly, most importantly, it offers zero personal liability protection. If you want a distinct legal entity that actually protects your personal assets, you need an LLC or a corporation. A trade name simply allows you to use a different name just for branding purposes.
Moving right along to Section 2, preparing your trade name.
So here's the absolute golden rule, straight from Arizona state law. Your proposed name must be distinguishable on the record. What does that actually mean for you? Well, it means you literally have to search the state database first. Arizona will flat out reject your application immediately if your name is too similar to an existing one or if it isn't completely unique from other listings.
And there are some real traps to avoid here. Like, if you're a sole proprietor, you can't accidentally use a corporate designator like LLC or Inc. in your trade name. You also can't just toss in restricted words like bank or credit union without special authorization from the Department of Financial Institutions. Oh, and you definitely can't falsely imply you're a government agency or offer professional services like a licensed engineer if you aren't one. Just keep it honest and aligned with your actual structure,
Another super important distinction here. Trade names are handled by the Arizona Secretary of State. This is a totally separate thing from the Arizona Corporation Commission, which is where you'd normally go to file your LLC or corporate paperwork. Just make sure you're heading to the right department, the Secretary of State's Business Services Division.
Okay, Section 3, submitting your application.
I actually love how simple Arizona makes this. It's a really straightforward, highly actionable three-step process. Step 1, like we talked about, is doing that thorough name search on the Secretary of State's online database. Step 2 is completing the application itself, putting in your business address, a quick description of your services, and the date you first used the name in Arizona. And Step 3, just paying your filing fee. But, massive warning here, online filing is mandatory. The state literally doesn't accept paper PDF applications through the mail anymore. If you try to mail one in, they're just going to return it to you unfiled. You've got to use the state's online trade name and trademark program portal. No way around it.
All right, let's talk numbers in Section 4, costs and timeframes.
Registering a trade name in Arizona is incredibly affordable. Standard processing is a mere $10, and it usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get approved. But hey, if you're in a rush, like say you need to open a business bank account tomorrow, I highly recommend the expedited option. For an extra $25, making it $35 total, they'll turn that application around in just 2 to 3 days. A total game changer.
Next up, Section 5, Maintenance and FAQs. I want you to anchor this number in your brain right now, 5. An Arizona trade name is valid for exactly 5 years from the date they receive it. It doesn't last forever. You're going to need to submit a super simple online renewal application, along with another $10 fee, within the 6 months before it expires. That keeps your brand active and stops anyone else from snatching it up.
Let's kick off a quick FAQ round with literally the most common myth we hear from new business owners. The question is, does paying your $10 and registering this trade name give you exclusive, bulletproof trademark rights across the board?
The reality of local registration? No, it doesn't. A state-level DBA just stops someone else from registering that exact trade name with the Arizona Secretary of State. It gives you absolutely no exclusive intellectual property rights. If you want true national brand protection, you've got to file for a federal trademark with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
Moving to the second major question we get about legal compliance versus accepted business practice, is filing this paperwork actually a strict legal requirement in Arizona?
The honest answer, it's technically voluntary, but it is highly, highly recommended. Think about it. If you're a sole proprietor and you walk into a bank trying to open a commercial checking account under a brand name, that bank is almost certainly going to demand to see your registered trade name certificate. Plus, having that official registration puts your business on the public record, which goes a really long way in building trust with your customers.
Finally, Section 6, Conclusion and Disclaimer.
Let's do a really quick recap of the journey you just completed. Remember, a DBA is officially called a trade name in Arizona. You absolutely have to search the Secretary of State database first to make sure your name is distinguishable. You'll file your application strictly online for just $10. And don't forget, you must renew that name every 5 years to keep it active.
And of course, here's our quick mandatory disclaimer. While this explainer is a comprehensive masterclass, it really just provides general information. Every single entrepreneur's business, tax, and legal situation is totally unique. So it's always a good idea to consult with a qualified legal professional or business advisor for personalized advice for your specific situation.
So, you've got the knowledge, you know the exact steps, and you are totally aware of the pitfalls to avoid. Now that you hold the map to your new brand identity, the only question left is, what are you going to name your Arizona business? Go, get out there, find that perfect distinguishable name, and make it official.